Meeting of the Sacramento Air Quality Management District to order. Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Barr, Cruz.
Here.
Frost. Guerra.
Here.
Guerra. Hanson.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Kennedy.
Here.
Lee. McGlashan.
Here.
Natoli. Peters. Cerna. Starsky.
Here.
Terry.
Here.
We have a quorum. I'm going to read this statement. This meeting of the Sacramento Metropolitan Air Quality Management District is cablecast live without interruption on Metro Cable 14, the local government affairs channel on Comcast, Consolidated Communications, and AT&T Uverse. This meeting is being closed captioned and will be webcast at www.sacmetrocable.tv. Today's meeting will be repeated on Saturday, September 24th at 12 noon on Channel 14. Members of the audience wishing to address the board may fill out a speaker form located on the table at the back of the chambers and give it to the clerk. Please speak into the microphone when addressing the board and state your name for the record. Also at this time, please silence your cell phones until the conclusion of today's meeting.
All right, thank you, Nancy. Director Terry, would you kindly do the pledge for us?
Salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, Madam Clerk, please call the first item.
First item is the Air Pollution Control Officer's report.
Okay, I have a few items to cover this morning. The first item is CalEnviroScreen 3.0. The draft is out, and you will remember that CalEnviroScreen was developed by Cal EPA to allocate funding from cap and trade program, and it's been used for a lot of other things too as time goes on, which we were somewhat concerned about in the air business. What I have done here is I have a map for you there that shows the differences between CalEnviroScreen 2.0 and 3.0. And there are some small differences for, I think we end up in Sacramento having more coverage than we did before, but you can see where we've dropped out. The Xed areas are places where Xed alone is 3.0. Where you have blue and the Xed, they're consistent, both of them, and where you have only blue, it's where it's dropped out here. So why those happened is in the details, because there is they've removed age, they've added rent-adjusted income, they've added cardiovascular disease. And we went to a workshop last night, Molly Wright and myself, in South Sacramento. They're holding workshops around the state explaining all these parameters. And we had some conversation with them, and we are going to continue to talk to them. We will have comments on 3.0. CAPCO as a whole will have comments on that. And we're going to make comments not only on the methodology they used for this, but we will also make comments on generally how it's being used and the scope of the program. So I'll be back to the board with the thoughts and comments we have later on. But this is a really important document or program because it allocates a lot of money to the state, and it will be a tool that's used by the state for allocating funding out through the future. And I know that Director Carr is very interested in this particular chart because it shows how you change from 2.0 to 3.0 for CalEnviroScreen, and it will impact some areas. I think everyone has impacts in their areas, probably. So that's the first thing I wanted to talk about. Any
questions from the board? I don't see any. Doesn't look like it. Please
Okay.
continue.
All right. Next slide, please.
Go forward.
Okay. I did want to just mention that we held a Clean Cities meeting on September 8th. You can see here we had over 80 attendees, and this meeting was on heavy-duty natural gas and electric trucks. You can see there that we had really good coverage from the various vendors. These meetings are important because what they do is they bring for your fleet managers the vendors there with their equipment to answer questions. So if they're considering purchasing or thinking about that out over time, they get to talk to the vendors, compare them, drive the vehicles, or look at them, walk around them. And these are the people that buy those vehicles for your cities and for the county. So we're having a series of meetings, usually 5 or 6 different meetings throughout the year for Clean Cities, and it's really an important program for getting new technology in and letting the fleets and the cities and counties see what that is. Any questions about that?
It does not appear so. Please continue.
Okay. The next, I did want to mention that we had, as our chair mentioned, we have gone live with our new Novus Agenda, and that produced the agenda for this meeting. This package, this month, as I said, the package was produced by the software. We get significant advantages with this software. It's much easier to do. It reduces the time. All of the packages are passed electronically between the people who have to read them and sign them and approve them. You don't carry packets around anymore. And more importantly, if you're in a remote location or you're in a conference, it shows up in your inbox. You can review it, approve it, and goes back to the next person wherever you are. You don't have to be physically in the office to have that board package, or it doesn't wait for you to show up from wherever you are. So it's really expediting the process. And next month we will have a detailed review of the software and a small training for board members. So this is designed so that, as you saw today, it will be delivered to you exactly like you've gotten it before. Or you can actually interact with this software more. You could pull it up on your computer, put notes on board items that you want, and that's only for you. So there's some other benefits of this to board members if you want to get more into the software, but you don't have to because it'll be delivered. And this automatically gets uploaded to our webpage. So if people go to the webpage, they see exactly what you've gotten. It's instantaneous. So it's really, really expedited that process a lot. Any questions about that?
I don't see any comments from directors, but again, now that we're in session, I'd like to also recognize the staff for the new website, which you launched yesterday. It looks fantastic.
Thank you, and we will say some more about that at the next meeting. Yes.
1 second. Director Starsky would like to.
Sure.
So Larry, so I use the current process. I have to pull it out of Dropbox and put it into a separate app that I can then make notes in. So I would like training on how to make the notes in it without having to do that.
Yes.
So
we will absolutely
please set
do
that up.
Yes.
Thanks.
Great.
The last thing I wanted to mention was I put a one-page sheet there on the zero emission school bus deployment project. We briefed the board on this earlier. It is a project that will send electric school buses to Elk Grove, Sacramento, Sac City, and to Twin Rivers. They're all very excited about this. They need these buses. The issue is that in the cap and trade allocations at the legislature, they did not fully fund a heavy-duty bus and truck project at ARB. So at the Fresno meeting in October, the ARB the board will be deciding how to allocate that money. And we want very much our project to be fully funded. We're ready to go, and we think we have some real advantages. Among them, we can make this project happen on the ground very quickly, and the state has had a lot of trouble delivering projects over time. So we have a full court press on. We will brief a number of the ARB board members. We've already gotten letters of support from numerous organizations and agencies, and we may be coming to some of you for letters of support. But this is, I will go down to the Fresno meeting and testify, as will the Twin Rivers maintenance manager. He's going to be there. I think we'll have a person from SMUD there to testify. So we will have a team of people there to testify about that funding. And if any board member wants more information on that or how you can interact with that, I'll be happy to pass that on to you later on.
All right, I don't see any comments. Madam Clerk, instead of doing the closed session, let's just do the consent calendar first. Okay. So please call that, and then we'll go into closed session.
Consent calendar is items 1 through 3. I did want to advise the board that there's been a revision to Exhibit 1 for item number 3 to include some administrative changes, and copies of the revised exhibit are before you.
All right, thank you. Do I hear a motion?
I'll second.
So we have a motion from Director Harris, a second from Director Starsky. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? The motion carries. Thank you. We'll now recess into closed session and we'll come back. Or do you want to do?
It might be better to go ahead and do this next item, and
Okay.
then you won't have to go but one direction and then go on out.
I like how you think. Let's do it.
Thinking of my board chair here.
All right. Next item is discussion calendar. Item number 4, executive recruitment for the Air Pollution Control Officer. And Patrick Smith will make the presentation.
Good morning, Chair Hansen, members of the board. As you probably are aware, our Air Pollution Control Officer has expressed his intent to retire next year. Because the appointment of the APCO is one of this board's primary responsibilities, staff met with the Budget and Personnel Subcommittee on August 25th to strategize about how to proceed with the recruitment to find Mr. Green's replacement. From that meeting, staff was asked to come back to the board and make some recommendations for you as to how we would consider proceeding with that recruitment process. One of the recommendations is to establish an ad hoc executive search committee from members of the board. The reason for establishing that committee as opposed to relying on the Budget and Personnel Subcommittee for that process is that the membership of that subcommittee is going to change in January. So designating an ad hoc committee now would ensure continuity throughout the recruitment process, if that makes sense. Having that ad hoc executive committee would also establish an efficient process to represent the board's interests as we move forward through that process. The second part of the recommendation would be to ask the board to pass a motion appointing members to said ad hoc subcommittee and grant that committee certain authorities. Those authorities would be to hire an executive recruitment firm and authorize the use of district funds up to $50,000, which are in the current year budget. It would authorize the committee, look, fading out here, authorize the committee to interview initial applicants that would be put forth by the recruitment firm. It would authorize the committee then to present a short list of applicants to the full board to interview. And it would finally authorize the committee to execute a contract with the successful candidate. So those are, in general, are the recommendations. And then to let you know also that staff will provide any administrative support that the board should need throughout this process. That could be conducting an RFP, a competitive bid process to hire the executive firm, or any other tasks that you would ask staff to do to help facilitate that process. So that's kind of the nutshell version. If there's any questions or comments.
I'd just like to add for the board that the personnel and Budget and Personnel Subcommittee did meet, came up with a process here. Normally that subcommittee would be the search committee, but because of the change in chair that will come in January, we wanted to leave it open in case other board members had the desire to serve, but also because of the turnover in chair and some continuity desired by the committee in maintaining some institutional knowledge. So so far I know that Director Terry has been nominated by me to be on the committee. As our incoming chair. I would like to serve on the committee as well as past chair, current chair, past chair. I believe Director Starsky has expressed some interest because he's on the Budget and Personnel Committee. But is anybody else interested in serving? Steve Lee?
I would. There you go. I have an interest in serving.
All right.
Yeah.
Any others? I believe that Director Terry, will you help me remember from our committee discussion? I broke my leg since then, so. Actually, I had broken my leg then.
Yeah, it was like the week of. I want to say Supervisor Natoli is on the committee now?
Yeah, so Don, was there anyone else? I'm sorry, I was going into surgery right before.
I want to say Supervisor Cerna was also
Yeah.
discussed.
Yeah, CERN was the past chair,
Okay.
and that's why he's
Right, I
on the
think that
current
was-
committee. And the two
those are the
standing
two additional
members
ones I can
are
recall.
Director Starsky and Director Natoli. So those are the two members that are not chair, past chair, or incoming.
And we need less than 7, so I think,
I think we're at 6 then.
Yeah.
The count that we have
yeah.
listed.
So does that sound acceptable to folks? All right. So as the chair, I'd make a motion to appoint those 6 to the search committee.
Okay.
And move forward on the staff's recommendation.
Second?
Any other comments, questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstain? Thank you all. And Kathy, do we need to come back into session to adjourn from closed?
Technically, you do. You'll just go back and say no action was taken.
Okay. I might have Director Terry do that as vice chair.
I'll run that.
Okay. Thank you. We'll adjourn to closed session now.